Clone Wars, one of the few sacred pieces of the Star Wars universe still standing. It had it all: epic battles, compelling characters, and none of the corporate meddling that's diluted other franchises. Naturally, Disney saw that and thought, how can we change this? And just like that, Clone Wars was transition, literally. Introducing Sister, the first transgender clone trooper. That's right, because nothing says galactic civil war like sprinkling in some good old identity politics. According to Captain Rex, Sister expressed her gender identity differently than her fellow troopers. And to make sure she felt included, they gave her the nickname Sister. A touching moment, sure. But when did Star Wars become the identity politics expanded universe? Now I get it. Disney is on a mission to represent every group imaginable, but at what cost to the actual story? Star Wars used to be about the battle between good and evil, light and dark, not a checklist of modern social issues. It's like Disney isn't happy unless every corner of their galaxy is filled with characters that tick their diversity boxes. They've taken a beloved franchise about intergalactic space battles and turned it into a platform for pushing agendas. You've got to wonder if at some point they forgot that Star Wars fans signed up for lightsaber duels and epic space battles, not lectures on inclusion. Clone Wars used to have heart and intensity. Now it feels like they're more concerned with making sure each clone battalion has proper pronoun representation. Is that really what the fans wanted? And let's talk about Sister's armor for a second. It's not just blue and pink now because subtlety apparently went out the airlock. Oh no, we've got an outline of a mastectomy scar built right into the suit because nothing says elite soldier like personal identity surgery scars. Think about this for a second. A galaxy full of genetically engineered clones bred for warfare, but don't worry, they're woke now. Who needs strategy when you've got post-op battle armor, right? Is the next step giving the clones therapy droids? Where does it end? Clone Wars used to be about fighting the separatists. Remember those guys? But now it feels like we're watching a galaxy that's battling something entirely different. Clone Wars fought droid armies. Now it's fighting internal identity crises. It's not just about inclusion anymore. It's about taking a franchise that used to be laser focused on epic stories and gut-wrenching character arcs and turning it into a social commentary playground. I mean, really, when did the galaxy far, far away turn into a soapbox for modern-day corporate virtue signaling? And the fans? Well, diehard Star Wars loyalists are out here wondering if Disney's just trolling at this point. Seriously, are they messing with us? You can almost hear the execs at Disney board meetings. Let's see how far we can push this before the fan base snaps. And folks, we might be hitting that breaking point. And look, we're talking about a series that once gave us characters like Ahsoka Tano, one of the most developed and beloved characters in all of Star Wars. Now, it feels like the focus has shifted to turning every character into some kind of symbolic representation. The battles we cared about, the plots that actually mattered, they're fading into the background while we get spoon-fed important messages. But you know what? Sometimes I just want a space opera, not a corporate seminar. So the real question is, when did Star Wars become mentally ill wars? When did it become less about the wars and more about the internal battles of the characters' identities? We didn't ask for this. Nobody went to see Return of the Jedi back in the day and thought, you know what this needs? A little more social discourse. But here we are, with Disney reshaping a galaxy we once adored into something almost unrecognizable. Fans are tired. They're fed up with the constant meddling in a franchise that used to be fun, thrilling, and yes, escapist. Now, it feels like the only thing we can't escape is the agenda. But of course, Disney will tell you it's all about progress or pushing boundaries. But really, it's just another corporate checkbox getting ticked while they move on to the next thing to dismantle. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Is Sister a step forward for representation or just another example of Disney trying way too hard to be inclusive at the expense of the story? Do you miss the days when Star Wars was about the actual wars, not the characters' personal battles with identity? And don't forget, subscribe and hit that notification bell if you want to hear more on how Disney's latest Star Wars venture continues to transform a beloved franchise into something completely different. The galaxy may be far, far away, but these conversations are just getting started.
Middle MAGA.